two sign names. The first is the one that I tend to use the most. It's an R shape, mimicking the sign for laughter. My coworker is the person who gave me that sign name. I work at a cafe. It's called the Woodstock Cafe. It's deaf-led, deaf-owned cafe, and it's a nonprofit. It's a beautiful space. Well, so you being deaf-led, it tends to be a quiet atmosphere. I mean, there are some sounds. Mm-hmm. There's alarms that tend to go off. There's metal clanging together. There's my laugh. And it's funny. So, customers will walk in and they'll be sitting down and chatting and doing what they're doing. And I will start cackling and startle the customers. It's okay. So here's what usually happens. So there was maybe a few times these babies will be sleeping, and then I laugh, and I startle them awake, and they start crying. It's like, oh, my bad. Sorry. And I remember growing up, my father, he had a big laugh as well. And I have these memories of being in a group of people, hanging out, chatting. And as soon as my dad started cackling, every single eye in the room was on him. With judgment. And my laugh is a big laugh as well, if you remember. And so, it can feel embarrassing. I feel embarrassed. And so I tend to be quiet, I'll hide my laugh. I try to hide my laugh. I mean, I don't do it now. But it is funny. So, I mean, today, this is who I am. I'm an adult, obviously. So, growing up, there were some things that I had to figure out. That I have figured out. So, my coworker, his name is Ryan. This is his name sign on the heart here. He is the one that gave me my sign name. And he's deaf. He's a deaf person. Mm-hmm. But there's a few things that he is able to hear. And one of those things is my laugh. So I remember it was the first time we were, having a conversation, we were chit-chatting, and he made me laugh. And he caught it. He could hear my laughter. He was the one that told me. He's like, oh, I caught that. I can hear you. I just had a moment like, oh, no. He's like, no, this is great. I love it. It's so cool. So my father's laugh at the time might have felt embarrassing, but my laughter today, it makes me proud. If somebody else starts laughing and then that leads me to feel these things and to have some laughter and feel some thoughts just from them. And really, Ryan is the one that will influence me in that way and inspire that laughter. And then I do that same thing right back to him. So that was the reason he made up that sign name for me. It was really sweet. I learned ASL during college as my minor. ASL studies was my minor. And I remember, learning about deaf culture, learning about the hard of hearing world, and I had this feeling like it just fit. I was comfortable with this. And I was trying to figure out why. What's the reason? And then I remembered my grandmother is hard of hearing, or was hard of hearing. She's dead now, but she was hard of hearing. And so you know that who children learn from is their parents, right? So my grandmother, she was pregnant and had triplets. So they had grown up copying my grandmother. So then the three of them, one of them being my mother when she was pregnant, I was born, and I looked up to her and copied from her and learned from her. So there are some deaf culture, hard of hearing culture things that I had already had growing up. Not a lot, but there were a few things. So it just felt right. It was a perfect fit. Sorry? Oh, yes, there are some things. Yes. So, facial expressions is one example. So, here, if I'm driving, you know, this is the face that I'm going to be making. Mm-hmm. And in deaf and hard of hearing culture, that's just kind of what happens. At least from my experience. And, you know, I've noticed that if I am deep in thought, or maybe I'm just satisfied and chill, you know, you'll notice that deaf people kind of do this kind of a face. Sometimes. That's my experience. So my grandmother, she did that. My mom, she does that too. And so me, hi, I do as well. Also another example. That right there. That can mean so many things. I mean, in English, yes, so many different things, sure. But with sign, there's a plethora of meanings behind that. And it's understandable. It's just a beautiful thing. Oh, one other one. Mm-hmm. That. The little wiggle, the little nose wiggle. I have a memory from high school. One of my friends and I, we were just chatting, and they looked at me, like up and down, like, what is that? What are you doing? Why? What are you doing that with your nose? What's that for? And I looked at them, and I just said, fuck you. I mean, it's just, that's my face. That's what I look like. And growing up, you know, socializing and friends, that was a struggle. I tend to be very direct and blunt. I'm honest. I'm open. I can put my heart right out on my sleeve and wear it. That's just who I am. And in ASL, it tends to be very direct. You know, the deaf and hard of hearing culture, they're blunt. So it's an information sharing. It's everybody can be involved that way. Everyone can have an understanding of what's going on around them, right? It just seems obvious that communication is the way to build relationships. But growing up and communicating, it was hard. I'm a very direct person, and I love facts. Absolutely love it. Information, give it to me. So, I mean, I assumed, you know, growing up, I had assumed that is how the world operated, that everybody wanted these facts. You want this information. I mean, don't you want to be right? Don't you want to know how to do everything? I mean, that's what I wanted, and I assumed that's how everybody else was. So, sometimes, during conversations, and maybe there's some approaches I'm trying to change people. Or, try to change the words that are used or whatever. And it can feel confrontational. And so having friends is hard. But now that I have grown up, I have greatly improved my social skills. I'm doing all right. Okay? I'm doing fine. But sometimes I do struggle. And I remember I have specific memories, like, if there was a problem with friends, I would be so upset with myself. I would offend myself. Be like, oh, what's wrong with you? What are you, so fucking autistic? What's wrong with you? And, well, no surprise, but yes, I am autistic. And I was right. So, I love facts. I absolutely love them. And I love doing things. I have learned how to do things, and I love it. And with experience, with knowledge, I tend to know a lot of things. Typically, I'm right. So I tend to be right. So my second sign name is actually our hands mimicking the sign for right.